Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm at Longbridge Park again, and it's day, so I'm kind of sitting inside the car today. So my video is about what's the pros and the cons about owning a Kia Soul, and the pros are that that when you own a Kia Soul, you are basically, it's one of those like cars that you actually really like enjoy driving, and it's actually like one of those, like, you just want to be, it's one of those cute cars that you see around town. Like, it's kind of like when you see Volkswagen Beetle, like you see them all over the place. And Kia Souls are basically one of those popular cars all around. And so also some of the pros is when you actually buy a Kia Soul, they're one of like the cheapest compact cars you'll ever own. So when you drive a Kia Soul, they're like, they might be like not one of those fastest cars, or they're not going to be like the they're just like one of those fun cars you like driving, and also they are really easy to park, and you can park in the tightest spot you can get into. You don't want to park in the tightest spot, but you want to like they're really good cars just to park in really tight spots. And also the good thing about it is that it comes in like not that many colors, but it comes in really funky colors. So one of the colors is alien green, and for this, the newest year models have been alien green too. My car is alien green 1, I guess, so it's basically the same color, but I guess it's a little more darker. It doesn't have like a metallic color to it. My car does, sort of, when you look at it at the light. And it comes in yellow, red, white, of course, gray, black, and I think a color blue. And they came out with this one blue color that's actually similar to the Toyota RAV4 that they came out with. It's like looks like an electric blue almost, and it's actually very it's actually one of the nicest blues, but I don't know how you can get that. I think you have to get the plus trim level to get that blue, because I think if you go to the Exclaim model, you can't get that blue. So it's only on a particular trim level you can get it. So one of the other cool features one of the other good things about owning a Kia Soul is that when you drive around town, everybody knows your car. Everybody knows what you drive, and also your friends will know what you drive. It's one of those people who's like, oh, she drives a Kia Soul, I'll know what car she drives. Or whoever you know would always know what you drive all the time. It's also, when you notice it, I mean, good things, it also comes with good gas mileage also. It depends on what gas station you go to. Sometimes if you go to a particular gas station, sometimes they have really, really crappy gas. It's not your car who's giving you the crap gas, it's actually the gas station. So if you're out and you need gas, sometimes and sometimes you'll notice when your car's totally like filled up, and you look at your gas range and you notice why didn't my car fill it all the way up to this range, because that's what it's supposed to be. Normally it's the gas station. It's not your car, it's basically your gas station. Normally if you have like a rewards card to a particular store, like maybe Tops or whatever, and you get like special discounts, normally you'll get good deals on gas, and normally your car's gas range will go to exactly what it's meant to be at. I mean, I just filled up my car just about 20 minutes ago, and I filled it up at Tops in DeWitt, and it went all the way up to 331, and it normally doesn't go up to that, but because I went to Tops, I have a rewards card, so I guess I went to the best gas station that offers good gas. So I guess you have to be lucky wherever you are, depending on the location you're going to get gas at. I mean, you don't want to like keep driving around to find the best gas. You just want to happens to be where you are during the day. So when you're just getting gas, just make sure whatever gas station you're going to, make sure when you are there and you're like, oh, this gas station, I won't go there again because they gave me crappy gas, and I didn't get my total gas range it's supposed to be at. So some of the things I like about the Kia Soul is that it makes it feel it feels like an SUV, but also feels like a compact car, and it makes it feel very like comfortable in a way, and it makes you feel tall. Like, it feels a little high, but it doesn't feel super high off the ground, but it makes you feel very the car is very lightweight, so it causes, when there's like really, really bad wind, it makes the car sway on the road. When you're driving like 60 miles an hour or going 65, it will cause the car to sway a lot when it's like super windy. So because today it's really windy, I'm kind of staying in the car since I haven't gotten the thing to put in the microphone part. Normally, when it's really windy, you have to of course, keep your hands on the wheel at all times, but it just causes it to be very, very bad, and it is also really dangerous too, but when it's, of course, really windy. Also, when you drive this car, it makes you feel like you're, I don't know, you're part of the group, or your Kia Soul group, and you see all these Kia Souls driving by. Feels like you're special, or you see another Kia or you're somewhere and they smile back at you. It's kind of like you got that, you're in the Kia Soul group or something. I mean, it's just that one look you get when you're shopping, or you're going to a grocery store and you see another Kia Soul parked right next to you, or you're at a traffic light and someone looks back at you and you're like, oh my god, we have exactly the same car, and they smile back at you because you've got the exact same car as that other person. So also when it comes to the Kia Soul, you also get just things that I mean, it might not be luxurious inside, and you still get leather seats if you get the top of the line, or you're gonna get the maybe if you get the plus trim. Sometimes if you get the plus trim or something, sometimes you can get leather seats depending on what you get for the interior and what you get on the exterior. That depends on how much you spend on your car. If you're into cloth seats, they are really, really hard to keep up. Okay, now about the cons. The cons to this car is that if you own this car for more than 5 years, and normally people will normally do because it gets good 100,000 mile warranty, limited warranty, I think. When you keep this car for 5 years, the car value after you drive it off the lot the first day, the basically the value of your car drops about like $1,000, I think, after, or I think 10,000, I can't remember, but after the first day it drops $1,000 a day, depending on how long you keep your car. So if you keep your car for 3 years, if it's a lease, then it'll probably be like, it'll still be in the $10,000 range. So probably like, if you got the top of the line, your car for a lease will probably be like $15,000, depending on how much you paid for it on the day you got it, or you leased it or something. So if you keep your car for 3 years for a lease, it's probably like $15,000. If you bought it outright, like if you bought it, financed it, then after the 5 years, your car could be worth below $10,000. So that's just something to think about when you're looking for a Kia Soul, and you knowing that when the time comes to get rid of it, you have to think about it's going to drop the value of the price of of a Kia Soul. So if you're looking to buy not another Kia Soul and you're looking to buy another car, and for example, you're a new couple and you don't have any kids, Kia Souls are great cars as a starter car. But if you're looking to upgrade to a SUV like a Sorento or a larger car, you're having to come up with more than like 20 grand to put the next car like budget down, which takes a lot of time and thinking, okay, is it worth buying and keeping it for more than 5 years, or is it worth leasing for the next 3 years, knowing that I can trade it in after my lease is up and I can get a good price on a next car, like another lease, maybe a Sorento or something. My car was bought, meaning financed, and I've had this car since 2013, so right now my car is probably like below $10,000, so it's like around $7,000, $6,000, I think. Because I've got above 100,000, I've got 107,000 miles and 800 something, and which causes a problem with, if I was to trade in this car, some dealerships probably won't take a car with over 100,000 miles on it. That doesn't mean they won't. It doesn't mean that they will never take a car that has so much mileage on it that they can't sell it. A lot of times, if you try to, for example, you don't want to keep your car anymore, a lot of times dealerships will take your car in. They still do the estimate, they still do the trade-in value of your new car. A lot of times, what they do is they take the car after you get your new car. A lot of times they take your old car to an auction and they auction it off to someone else. And because sometimes they can't sell a car over in a dealership because most people want low mileage. And I understand that, because unless you can't really afford a new car and this is all you can afford, yes, that makes more sense. But a lot of times people will look into low mileage because of the warranty. And warranty's got to do so much about the mileage of the car. And sometimes, so someone, when you auction it off to another person, sometimes they take it somewhere out of state, or they take it to some place, I don't know where. I've never been to an auction, so I don't know exactly how it works, where they take it to. So they take a lot of the old cars to an auction and they sell them all out to different people or to other dealerships, I don't know, or to a backyard person like a dealership or something like that. I think that's how it works. And they sell it to not considered a dealership, it's considered a person who has their own business, like a small little dealership that you don't normally see. in like maybe small towns. So also the value of a Kia Soul isn't that great when you come to trading it in during that time. Kia Souls are still great cars. If you're looking at the trade-in value 5 years from now, normally you don't want to just think about it. You want to like enjoy the car as long as you have it, because sometimes if you look at the trade-in value so much, it basically isn't really that nice to look at. I mean, it's not that great to look at when you're still having it. Also, I mean, it's still, the value makes it very hard to live with, knowing that after the 5 years you're like, okay, what do I do now? I have to come up with this amount of money and all that. The second con to owning the Kia Soul is that it doesn't come with a spare tire, meaning when you either lease or buy it, you have to come up an optional pack. You have to buy a part to this car to get a spare tire. And a lot of times people wonder, why does a Kia Soul not come with a spare tire? Why does every other car do and Kia Soul doesn't? The only cars that do come with a spare is the Sportage, the Sorento, and a lot of the sedans do. And the new car that just came out was the Nero, which doesn't come with a spare. And I don't understand it, because the Nero is way bigger than this car, and it should come with a spare, and it makes no sense. I mean, the Nero should come with a spare since it's a larger car, and it's not considered a compact. It's considered in between a Sportage and bigger than the Sportage, but a little inches longer and taller. But when people buy this car or lease it, you always want to know what this car offers even after you buy it, or what it offers inside, like how much storage space it has and all that. But a lot of people don't check underneath the cargo bins, which people just like wonder, like, oh, it comes with a spare, I don't need to check that. But a lot of times you need to check, because I mean, when my parents got me this car with like a graduation gift, I didn't notice it didn't come with a spare, and the dealership didn't tell my parents it didn't come with a spare. And knowing that, like, when I washed it, you get curious, or you get that moment like, okay, what if I got a flat tire in the middle of nowhere, or if I got stranded on the side of the highway and I got a flat tire? You get that motion, you get that part in your mind wondering what happens, or what if I get stranded. You want to make sure you do check, because you're going to be ending up calling a tow truck to tow you to the nearest dealership and having to get a spare. A lot of times, tow trucks don't always come with a spare tire with them. And it's kind of like, well, you're having to tell your tow truck driver, if you got AAA, well, my car doesn't come with a spare, so they have to tow you or take you to a dealership, so they have to put your car on top of the lift, like on top of the truck. And you're kind of like, well, because my car doesn't come with a spare, I have to go to a dealership to get my tire fixed. But if you're planning on buying or leasing a Kia Soul, make sure you ask your dealership, I'm interested in purchasing a spare tire to go underneath my cargo bins. Normally, if you do that, you lose your cargo bins completely, because the donut takes up so much space, and also the little jacks and all that takes up so much space that you kind of like lose your cargo bins, which is a downside. If you're into putting stuff in there, just buy a cargo organizer, which is a cargo, like a tray or a box or something. You can buy that on Amazon or something like that for like $20 or something, depending on the best quality kind. And you just put that on top of your car, like on the back of your car, like not on the back of your car, but like on top of the bin afterwards, which isn't a bad thing. But because I didn't buy a spare tire, I use my cargo bins all the time. I mean, I have so much stuff in there, it makes it crazy how packed it is in there. And a lot of times I've put so much stuff in there, I just forget what's in there. So it just makes it very complicated when you have tons of junk in there and you're like, well, I need to make room for everything I buy at a store. So this other con is that you can still get a backup camera, but that's only offered on the top. You can get it on the Plus model and the Exclaim model, and that's just extra, like, when you basically, like, optional things when you get the car, of course. And a lot of times that you're spending more money for that too. Also, a lot of times people care about a sunroof, which, okay, that's not really that important for a sunroof, but people like the sunroof. Also, other thing is that the con to it is, basically, I think it's I don't know if it's the fog lights or also the cloth seats. I mentioned this earlier. Cloth seats can be really nice in hot weather because it doesn't burn your legs. When you have leather seats, you got like, it burns your legs when you're wearing shorts. But the con to cloth seats is that if you got kids and you got dogs, you got whatever, a lot of times cloth seats can be a nightmare to clean. It's very annoying. It's just so annoying when it comes to cloth seats. So it's just like when you have a house with carpet in your house and you're like, you got one of those kids who makes a mess and you're like, oh my god, I have to clean the seats in my car, and now you have to use special cleaning products to get something out of your cloth seats. And if you got dogs, you're kind of like in that part where you're like, oh my god, like if you got a long-haired dog, which I have, the dog hair weaves its way inside the cloth and it's so hard to get out that you would have to do it with the best car vacuum you can ever like imagine, that you'll get it out like of the cloth. And also it's more prone to dirt and more when it's time to like vacuum your car, a lot of times a lot of dirt gets inside the cloth seats, and it might look clean to you, but it's honestly just like a carpet in your house. There's a lot of times you have to clean the carpet with soap and water and all that. It's the same with cloth seats, exactly the same. Cloth seats can collect dirt and bacteria and all that, which is not bad, but it's basically people just like cloth seats because it's comfortable and it feels like a couch almost. But cloth seats are just considered one of those nightmarish way of owning a car. A lot of times I like leather seats. I don't know why I didn't know why I wanted cloth seats in the first place, but my next car I know for sure I'll get leather seats because my dog just causes dog hair to get inside the seat, and even after I vacuum it. I mean, I'm not complaining about the dog hair. I'm complaining about when you own a dog, you're kind of like, you just vacuumed your car and you're like, you want your seats to be nice and clean and nice and good looking when someone else comes into your car and want it to look amazingly clean. Sometimes that's not the case. A lot of times your passengers are driving in a car and in your car looking maybe at a dirty interior. That doesn't mean your car is dirty inside. It's just sometimes our minds are other places and are kind of like, I didn't really have time today, and so on. Also, the other thing about the Kia Soul, it's very difficult to think about what it's like to not just drive it, but it's like, I mean, it's like you're into I don't know. Well, I think that's my words in saying. So there goes another Kia Soul. Yep, they're popular. So normally you'll just see a Kia Soul everywhere you go, be out of the blue, and that Kia Soul, if you can tell, is the basic model, I think. Doesn't have a backup camera, and it's pretty, so that color is silver, and I forgot to mention that color too. So honestly, owning a Kia Soul is one of the nicest cars to own. Don't worry about the trade-in value. Don't worry about what it's like to own it after those 5 years. Honestly, the Kia Souls are just the greatest cars to own. They're cute. They're always popular on the roads. They're always everywhere. You'll see them at every corner of every street, every highway, and you're like, wow. I mean, I feel like part of the group. I'm part of everything I do in this car. Once you drive a Kia Soul, I mean, I'm not saying you always own a Kia Soul every time, but a lot of times this is basically your first car you'll ever own. They're cute cars. They're not going to die on you. And also, one thing about it is that Kia Souls can not just die on you, but they can have problems after you hit the 100,000 mile mark. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time. It's just minor stuff to owning a Kia Soul. But that is something that happens later on. I mean, my car isn't having any problems right now, but it just happens on some occasions when, like, backing up, like, it jerks a little bit, like, but that's normal. If it's probably every car you drive that has that problem when it hits 100,000 miles. So hopefully you enjoyed my video on the pros and the cons of a Kia Soul. So if you're into purchasing a Kia Soul or whatever, look at Jarvis Village, Cicero, fuccilo Clay, Kia of Clay, and East Syracuse Kia. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I didn't take your time in your day. So this video, I'm heading out to DC on Friday, so my next video will probably be the next following weekend. So hopefully I can think of a video of what to do. So hopefully this helped you guys for when you're looking into buying a Kia Soul, to the pros and the cons. Okay, if you're here for the first time, please subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell down below to get notifications when my next video starts. And see you next time to my channel, to Girls Love Her Cars. Bye!